What's up, Mr. Hokit?
Look at you all freaking dressed up, dude.
Dude, I wore my flannel today.
Is
Look at
this what you
that.
do on your podcast? You put on that flannel? That's your flannel podcast?
I look good. I had my mat herpes on my head one time doing a podcast, so it was just like this. I normally have to wear hats when that happens.
I
I
like
what
how
I'll
that your video's all like clear and then it's like blurry in the background.
It looks good, doesn't it? Almost
You
as good as
freaking
me.
dude, dude, it's 103.
You know what would
That's
make
3 minutes. You're 3 minutes freaking over one. You gotta
I got
pay
in
me
at
for it,
101.
dude.
You know what would make this look way better is if I was blurry and the background was clear. But we can't at least that's what people tell me.
I
What's
don't
up,
know,
bro?
but
Why are you playing with that little red tomato over there?
I don't. Well, I've just been sitting here. I was passing time for 3 minutes, dude.
Oh my gosh. I got in at 101.
Yeah, dude. Nowadays, you got to pay for these freaking interviews now, like Strickland says.
That's so dumb. That's literally the dumbest thing. You either do it as a favor for somebody else and it's a media opportunity. You don't pay for media opportunities. It's like when people I hear about that all the time. People are like, "Oh, um like you need to pay me to get my name out there." Like that doesn't even make sense. You're promoting yourself.
Yeah, I mean, with like the NFL, like that's part of your contract, so you can't like get out of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's like some random person on the side, I've heard about them, because it's like, why am I going to do it?
I mean,
You
I
know,
could understand if you were like a big I will probably never do that. I can't see myself ever paying somebody as a
Uh,
as a media opportunity,
yeah.
but what the heck?
Why's
Are you
there a
seeing
hand?
this?
Yeah,
What is going on here? Why is it doing that?
dude, this is
What?
what you do for a living, dude. This
I
is
don't I
your
don't know.
plan
I
A.
don't know enough about Zoom. I need to get something else.
This is your plan A, dude, and fighting's your plan B.
That's true. This is gonna
Oh,
last longer. I'm just kidding.
I can't believe you just admitted that.
This is a joke. Are you going to practice today?
Are you?
If I say no, are you going to say no as well? Or are you gonna
No, I'm going today.
Yeah, I'm going too.
Do you want to go early and we could hit myth before
I don't have anything going on, so yeah, we can do that.
after this?
And then we can leave early.
Uh,
Like right like right in the middle of live goes. Like get in your car. Bye, Eric.
no, no, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, my brother's trying to come to practice. Is it all right if he just shows up, or do I have to talk to someone?
Why are you asking me on a public forum this question? How am I supposed to know?
Oh, are we live right now? What's going on?
Yes.
Oh, this is how you start your podcast?
I just start talking, baby.
You just start talking and that's what it is?
A little Halo top.
Oh, it's blurry. I can't. Oh.
It's there. That's probably good. I probably don't need product placement when I'm not getting paid for it.
But I probably have to talk to Eric though.
Yeah, just talk to Eric and you should be fine. Usually, well, I shouldn't say that because if a bunch of people listen to this, I don't know. I don't know what the
No,
rules
no,
are.
he's 3-1 in Bellator though.
Talk to Eric. Talk to Eric. Yeah, I would talk to Eric. So,
Well, he better
um,
play today.
yeah, just talk to Eric or talk to the person at the front. Yeah, Eric. If they don't let him in, they should just give him like a good discount.
What? Discount for what? Oh, we okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Am I far away from the camera?
No, you're good.
I'm good right here.
If you
Okay.
turn it to the side, it might be a little bit better.
Well, if you saw how my phone is propped up, it's propped up on some olive oil
Oh.
on my stove. We could try though. Let's see. How's that? No, this is now it's too far down. No, it's gonna move for it.
Dude, you got to get your own studio, man.
I had a microphone and an interface. What else did I have? I had some speakers, but I gave it to my brother and he games. My little brother.
Okay. Did you do a lot of interviews while you were what stage of life have you done the most interviews? Because I mean, obviously you were a high level high school athlete. Gosh, with this dang hand, high level high school athlete, and then high level college athlete, and then went
Oh,
pro for football.
yeah.
Where do you think you
I
did the most interviews?
I don't know. They're probably equal now because it's like wrestling. No one really cares about wrestling that much, so it's like a few interviews there, and obviously a lot more people care about you playing for like the 49ers. So I don't know. I think they over time they probably equaled about the same. I would say.
Did you get interviewed a lot in high school?
Like the thing is, I went to Clovis High, and so
Yeah.
wasn't like the main guy there. So
You
we
weren't
had
the
like a
man.
Justin Mejia.
Yeah.
You heard about Justin Mejia?
No, no, no. I said you weren't the man.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, I thought you said who was the man. Well, Justin
Oh.
Mejia, he was a four-time state champ in California, and he
What
was
weight?
one 103, 106, 113, 120, I think.
Yeah. And that's only been done like 3 times, right? Wasn't Seth
I
Neville's the
was
most
the
recent guy?
Yeah, I think he was so Mejia was either the first or the second, and then Neville's did it right after him. But that doesn't count because it was heavyweight. You know, you know how heavyweight it is in high school. Like,
Well, but you got to look at, most 103 shouldn't count because it's all freshmen.
yeah, but like, there's some high level Like, there's still kids growing into their body. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that are wrestling at 103, and they're just small still.
I don't know, man. You see
I
a
would
lot.
say
I mean,
more high level wrestling at 103 than that
I
heavyweight.
I I would agree with the aesthetics of it. Yes, they look like they can do a lot more, but generally speaking, you have to be a little bit older to compete at the higher weight classes. Like the average age for a heavyweight in the UFC is like 35, 38, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not discrediting heavyweight since
You're a heavyweight, so just disclaimer.
yeah, exactly. Like I eventually wrestled heavyweight, in college. So I mean, it just takes a lot of freaking willpower to, power up that freaking giant body and move it around,
Yeah.
especially in a sport like wrestling. Like in football, at least you're like 7-second plays and it's over. Like usually the average play in football is probably like 3 or 4 seconds. So the guy has to block, get out of his stance, and then the play's
Right.
over. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? In wrestling, it's still 6 minutes, 7 minute, hand fight. You're still grappling with the guy, and that's tough to do. So I'm not discrediting it, but like at 103, like because my brother he wrestled at 103, and I
Right.
started off a small guy as well. My freshman year I was 126, so like I was in those lower weights, and it's
Right.
just like growing. Like we started wrestling when we were 4, so the body just hasn't matured yet, and so that's why we were stuck at those lower weights, and those guys crap down there.
I'm not saying the skill set is not, you don't have to be like you go watch fighting, you go watch, wrestling. Like there's guys, I mean, if Gable Stevenson could do what Spencer Lee can do, Gable would be able to beat 5 guys at the same time,
Yeah,
Like I always made the argument when Mighty Mouse was fighting. I was like, if I could do what Mighty Mouse can do at 240 pounds, I would be Batman. Like
yeah. I
but
mean,
the thing
there's just a reason why you can't do that. It
But
just
there's a give and take when you get that size. Now
exactly.
I think in 20, 30 years, now obviously the smaller guys are still going to be a little bit ahead, but I think 20, 30 years, you're going to see big guys that can do what the small guys today can do as far as like, if you did like a sports science on them, they would be hitting the same speed metrics and the same velocities and all that, whatever, as the smaller guys today. I think the NFL probably has the best athletes and the biggest guys in the NFL are probably a little bit ahead of the curve as opposed to what guys in the UFC or guys basketball guys seem really uncoordinated to me, but I think the NFL has the best athletes in the world for the size as far as like, speed, power, everything like that.
Yeah. So like, yeah, as you were saying about the UFC, because you're able to make a living fighting now, and so that's gonna bring in those type of athletes that usually would play in the NFL, and
Right.
so now you guys like Cyril Gahn that move like a lightweight, like he should
Right.
be playing. I don't know what if he grew up doing Muay Thai or whatever. The UK dude, He just hurt his knee against Blades. What's his name?
Oh, oh, they keep
Whatever.
talking about.
Yeah,
I know who you're
whatever
talking
it
about.
is like.
Aspinall, Tom
As,
Aspinall.
he should be playing in the NFL too. So it's like,
Yeah,
but now you could actually make a living, and 20, 30 years from now, like I would guess this, the salary is going to go up as well. So you're going to start getting more athletes that would be, going to the NFL.
I
Like even a
yeah,
guy, Carl Williams, that um, he played Division I football and he was a
right,
DN. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, and me being a college wrestler, it's hard for me to even take him down. And like
right,
he wasn't, I think he wrestled in high school, but like
yeah,
that's just an example of like, man, if you get more guys like that, because he's a football player
right.
and he's a real athlete, and so if you get more freaking football players that be doing MMA, like there's like
Yeah,
what is it evolve into?
yeah.
Like
There's always that argument, but it doesn't cost anything to wrestle at the high school level, and for some reason, those guys never did it, right? And the big reason I think is it's just hard, and I think you're never gonna get past that when something is as challenging as a sport like fighting or wrestling. You're always gonna have the mental side of it is never going to change. Like Stipe Miocic is probably going to be a champion, and as far as like what he carries mentally and athletically, like that guy could probably be a champion in 20 years with the athletes then if he has the same training metrics and everything like that because of the way his mind is built. And I just don't think that part of it is going to change, but I
yeah,
do think you're going to see some, like when guys start making $10 million a year in fighting, and that's not the high guys, that's kind of middle of the pack, you're going to start seeing some change. But I also think the NFL is going to change once they start branching out globally, because I think there's a lot of guys in Africa, I think there's a lot of guys in Russia, and maybe even China and some of these other countries that have huge populations and really good athletes that represent at the Olympic level and the Commonwealth and stuff like that, that don't have any representation in the NFL.
yeah. That's just scary to think about. Like, what can it evolve into? Like, because it's already at such a high level now.
Yeah,
Because there's already freaks of nature. There's 6'4", 250, you know, 260-pound guys, and they're running 4.5s, four
right.
fours.
That's crazy.
It's like, yeah, I don't even know where you would go from there. Like, but like with the rule set, and that's cool. That's a cool thing about, like, I saw XFL on the TV the other
Right,
day,
right, right.
and I was like, you know what? That's probably going to keep the NFL in check, because I could see that growing, and it's like they have different rule sets, and they're not all about pandering to like the soft society, where it's like, yo, you can't
Right.
hit the quarterback, you can't hit the receivers across the middle. Like, they're kind of bringing it back, so there's always
Right.
going to be alternatives of other things other than NFL. So I think that
Right.
would keep it in check. Because if not, I feel like it would just turn into flag football, or maybe the pads get bigger, or
Yeah.
I don't know where you go to like protect these athletes, because that's the direction that the NFL is trying to go. Like, just protect everybody at all
Right.
costs. And like at the end of the day, you won't even have real football that you're playing anymore. So
Well, and that's a good point you bring up. You ever played Nerf guns or anything?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So every time you go to a store, you see Nerf guns, and then they're right next to X Shot, which is their competitor. And if you shoot them side by side, X Shot shoots way faster, way harder, will put people's eyes out. But the reason that they are able to do that is because X Shot hasn't had the lawsuits come in that Nerf has. Because Nerf, I'm sure kids have put their people's eyes out or hurt, damage people's corneas, stuff like that with the speed. So they have to lower the speed. But X Shot hasn't had that. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen is you're going to get this company, this organization that doesn't have all the lawsuits, that doesn't have all the public, distress coming in, the, whatever, cancel culture, whatever it is. And they're going to just be like, hey, we're going to play the rules how we want to play them. And then the NFL is going to be like, well, if we want our viewership to go up and if we want our ratings to beat them out, then we've got to change our rules back. Like, I mean, watching the Super Bowl, they need to revisit the possession rule.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
What is the? What are you thinking of about?
Well, just like on the catches, there was multiple catches that were all the same, and some got called back and some didn't. Like there was the catch out of bounds that the tight end had for the Eagles that was clearly a catch, and then they called it back. Then there was the fumble that the Chiefs had that they called back, but they were both catches on the field, and then they had another one that was called a catch on the field. It was the exact same that the Eagles had, and
Yeah.
they didn't call it back.
Yeah, that is well. The 49ers freaking, they were a victim of that, where they hurry up and got another snap off, but it's just tough too because what do? You just hire more refs because at the end of the day, like we are human, and
Right.
I mean we're gonna make mistakes, but like even if you miss a call like that, do you slow the game down? You
Right.
know, review it or because the team has a way of hurrying up and snapping the ball so they don't
Sure.
have to. Yeah, that is tough. There is some rules, but even the XFL was on a Sports Center. I feel like a spokesperson for the
Yeah.
XFL now, but it was on Sports Center, and the onside kick rule was uh, they took away the onside kick rule, and instead they gave the team a possession, and it was 4th and 15, and if they converted it, they would get the ball back, and so the team converted it and ended up driving down and scoring a touchdown to win,
Oh
and they
wow.
were, I think it was 15-3 with 1 minute 30 seconds left, and so they scored, and then they did the alternative of have an extra play for the onside kick, got it, and then drove it down. Like that's exciting for
Right.
like they're thinking outside the box where it's like the
Right.
onside, like uh it's not even a 50-50 chance you even get that. It's like freaking 10%. Like it's but like thinking outside the box, that's gonna keep things interesting, I feel
Yeah.
like. So they could keep
Is
things more like stuff like that and also not taking away from the physicality of the sport too.
yeah.
Like you're falling on a quarterback's leg, but it's like these big 300-pound guys are going against each other. They can't control some certain things, and
Did
so
you Yeah.
you can't fault them for that. But go ahead.
Oh, did you see the clip with Rogers talking about that? That guy
Uh,
that the D tackle, I think, like he rolled him like it was real easy and he got penalized and fined and all this stuff, and Rogers was even like this was stupid. Like this was clearly not or not pass interference, but like roughing the
yeah,
passer. Yeah, yeah, roughing the passer, sure.
yeah. No, it's little stuff like that that just killing the freaking sport. Where
Yeah.
it's like you can't touch the quarterback, you can't hit receivers across the middle. It's just at the end of the day, it's football. It's what we sign up for.
Right.
And we getting paid so much money because if that guy doesn't do it, there's a freaking 1,000 other people that will go in there and try to hurt the other guy to win the game. That's
Right.
just how it is. It's just you're getting paid so much money, you're gonna put your body on the line. People
Right.
want to freaking change their families' lives.
Yeah.
A lot of people come from rough backgrounds, and it's like I would do anything not to go back to that. So
Yeah. How does, because we talk about it in fighting a lot, and fighters don't make, some of the highest paid fighters don't make as much as some of the lowest paid football players. Um,
oh yeah.
like Francis, I was talking to Eric, and Francis's payouts. This wasn't sponsorships and all that stuff, but with NFL, you don't worry about that as much because you guys they're paid so high. But he made like 600,000, which I think was the league minimum 300, or is it 600 now?
It's like after taxes, it'll be like 300,000. So
Okay.
it's like six
But
league minimum.
that's like practice squad, like what I mean?
Uh, so practice squad and like league, like when you make the active roster, that's like 53 people, right?
Yeah.
So when you hear about people making the active roster, that's league minimum at least.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like 1,600,000. So
Right.
practice squad's more like 200,000.
Gotcha. So regardless, this is the best guy in the UFC,
Yeah,
possibly the best guy ever, and he's making twice as much on a, you know, as a guy that that is just making the roster.
yeah.
My question is, we always hear about in fighting, oh, this guy made a bunch of money. Is he going to come back? How do NFL players avoid that? Because they make 15 times as much as the best fighters, and you see them year after year. Is there,
Like how to agree type thing.
yeah, like how do they not say, "Oh, I got my paycheck, I'm good. Like I'm not going to play hard this year." It doesn't make any like because you
No,
would think a
it's
fighter would be more driven than an NFL player.
yeah. No, it's whatever. I think they have to look at themselves in the mirror every day and just, remember the reason why. And,
Right,
I think a lot of them realize this opportunity doesn't last forever. And so they're going to milk this thing as much as they can.
right,
And so a lot of them, they find their little routine. And then, especially like a guy like Trent Williams that makes 17 million in one season, I think
yeah,
one of the highest paid players in the
right,
NFL. For him, I think he's realized his little system that he needs to do. And so he's figured that out where it's like then he knows, what it takes to have a high level season and he could just keep repeating it.
yeah,
They look too far down the road and they just
yeah,
worry one season at a time, one day at a time type thing.
right.
But
I gotcha.
yeah, I feel like that's just human nature. Like you get money and you let off the gas pedal,
You get
and
complacent, yeah,
yeah, but it's like, even being with the 49ers for 2 years, my locker was like two lockers down from Fred Warner. And like that guy showed up every single day at the same time, freaking put in work day in, day in and day out. And it's just like he just has it figured out in his mind. And
right,
he just realized that it's just this doesn't last forever. And he
right,
wants to be. It's like I think those type of guys they also take everything personal. So it's like one little comment online, or like they weren't like first team All Pro, or they weren't the best linebacker. I feel like that the little things fuel them, and it's like even watching documentaries like the Michael Jordan one, they're
yeah,
all doing the same thing. They're like taking
right,
little things personal, and I'm like,
right.
it makes sense. So if you're always reminded, about that, I feel like that's how you could, put in work every single day. You just can't lose sight of it. And a lot of people, they do because they got so much money. They're going out partying, whatever. They got the females, they got the cars, they got the house. It's like, shoot, I don't even want to put in work. But then
Right.
the next season comes and then you regret not putting in the work because then you're not the guy and then you're not even relevant anymore. And
Yeah.
so,
I
yeah.
I feel like the scheduling and the fact that, we get paid as fighters here and there. Like we get paid 3 times a year. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
an NFL player, they have a set schedule, they've got to play, and they get, they've got a contract that they sign based on, whatever. I don't know. I think there's a lot that goes into it. But is the XFL something that you keep your options open for or no?
You know, if I was like, because I'm in a weird position where I play fullback, and it's
Right.
like not a lot of teams even have a fullback.
Right.
And so, do I want to put my body through all that like strain for? I don't know how much they're getting paid, but like two or three plays on an XFL where it's like it's not even that well known, not that big. Like NFL, don't get me wrong, I'll be happy with my two or three plays as long as I'm still on that team.
Right.
Where XFL, it's like it's kind of bottom of the barrel, and
Yeah.
I'm not the guy. I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't have that many plays, so I don't think I would ever consider it. If I was like a running back, a true running back, or a linebacker, or even a lineman, any other position, I would probably consider it because I feel like it is a good opportunity just to get more film, and
Right.
that could lead to other opportunities. other tryouts for other teams, but I want to consider it.
What's the XFL going to be paying? Like normal 9 to 5, like 50 to 100?
Yeah, I don't, because I talked to a guy that was on the 49ers and he came from the other league where it was like
CFL?
AA. What is it?
The CFL, the Canadian Football League?
There's another one that was like an AAFL or some weird one that was here. Um, I forgot the name, but he said they were getting paid like practice squad money, which was like every time they suited up, they were getting like 8,000 a check, and I'm like, that ain't that bad, but I don't know how much the XFL, is
Yeah,
paying right. I think right now it's like it's building up, so it can't
right,
be that because they're probably down in like sales and stuff just to
right,
lift the company up. I
right.
mean, it's like year and they got hit hard with COVID and stuff, so they had to cancel
Yeah,
everything. And so the jerseys, the travel, the stadium, I'm sure it costs a lot of money. So they're
right.
probably down now, so they can't be paying people too much.
Is it an NFL subsidized league? Because they were promoting it in the Super Bowl, and I remember they were playing in some of those stadiums, right? Like they were doing stuff.
I don't know, but like the NFL was promoted, like the actual NFL was promoted in the XFL, or did they have just commercials during like the
They had a
NFL?
they had a commercial during the Super Bowl, and I don't know what the rules are for that. I'd imagine if it's
Maybe
the
they
Super.
pay a lot of money just to do that. I don't know if they're connected, but I don't
Okay.
see why not because this is like the off season, and I feel like this would be like a farmer, because it's like baseball, right? They have the
Right,
minor and
like double A, yeah.
the farm league, whatever. I feel like
Yeah.
it's probably the
Yeah, I think the only problems you're going to run into is when the XFL gets big and they want to start being, bigger than the
that's good.
NFL.
Yeah,
Like
that's good.
what was the golf league that just started? That's like take
Yeah.
live golf or something like that. It's like it's Saudi Arabia based, and
Oh,
it's
really?
called live golf. But they signed like Bubba Watson and some of these other
Oh,
guys. Yeah, they signed a bunch of guys, and then they tried to sign Tiger, and they offered him a pretty good check, but he said, no, I'm a PGA guy. But people were all pissed about that. They're like, "Oh, you sold out to Saudi," and I was just like, in my head, I was like, "Wait a minute. So you're mad at a professional athlete for taking a job that pays more to do his sport? Wow, what a horrible scumbag piece of crap." You know,
there's always haters though, but like I feel like competition is brings up the best,
I do
and
too. Yeah.
so if there's other competitors to the NFL, that's great, and that means more opportunities, and
Right.
so a lot more people could have their lives changed.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. I mean, the UFC, is you've got Bellator, you've got the PFL, you've got ONE FC, like all these organizations are coming through now, and it's like it's same with like news. It used to be Fox and CNN and MSNBC, and like that was it, and now it's you've got podcasting and you've got YouTube, and for wrestling there used to be no money in wrestling in our sport, but social media came out, and now you've got all these guys that you follow that, hey, Rudis comes by and says, hey, we want to sponsor you, or Under Armour comes by and says, hey, we want to sponsor you, we'll pay you, 20 grand to promote our product for a year, and it's like it just adds up, and it's huge for the
Exactly.
sport. It's amazing. I think it's great. I think that's one of the few things that is good about social media.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like if one organization's doing someone wrong, they could always go to somewhere else, and that whether it's you're not getting paid right or whatever, that other organization has the chance to, give you some money. So it's like you're not stuck in
Yeah.
one situation, which is good.
Now, what are your plans as far as? I mean, I know your plans. I just don't know what you can talk about, so I'm not going to like insinuate anything. But is football still? Are you still looking at football, or is it 100% MMA?
There's just so much money in the NFL. It would have to be the NFL. It can't be CFL or
Right.
XFL. But like if the NFL does call, say like the 49ers fullback gets hurt or like they have an extra spot for whatever reason and they want to bring me back, I would have to consider it. I would have to probably take that opportunity, but
Okay.
in the meantime, I'm training fighting because it's like if the NFL doesn't work out, then it's like I want to jump right into this. I don't want to waste any time
Sure.
because there's going to be a period of time where it's like I'm not bringing any money in. So
Right.
if I'm training now, then I could be ready to fight whenever, you know. So that's like the whole thought process right now. So if the NFL calls, I'll probably consider it, you know, see what they're, you know, what they want. But it's always a short period of time anyways, because it's like it's either they want you or they don't. Whether it's a training camp or whatever OTAs, because they're always like 2 weeks or a month at a time. So if it doesn't work out, at least I'm not starting from scratch and fighting. So
Right. Right.
that's why I moved to Vegas and I wanted to just train fighting full time.
Gotcha.
Because if it doesn't work out, then I'm ready to go. You know, I'm ready
Sure.
to fight. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I could talk about because I did have a meeting with Scott Coker,
Okay.
and so
I know this. I know what happened, but I don't know if you're allowed to speak about it. So that's why I was being
how,
vague with the questioning.
why wouldn't I be? Is there rules about that?
I don't know. There's rules
But
about everything that you can say these days.
yeah, I know.
Unwritten rules.
Next thing you know, I get the freaky call.
I know
Something happening.
I'm gonna get kicked off YouTube.
No, I had a meeting with Scott Coker 2 weeks ago. We had like a little brunch at this fancy Beverly Hills hotel. Me and my manager, and you know, it it's hard to find quality big guys right now. So everyone's in that looking for big guys for the organization, and so and he happens to be a 49er fan too because I think
Oh,
he
that's
lives out
cool.
in San Jose. So he was all happy about that. But I think it's gonna go through. Um, they said they're gonna send me a contract and probably fight in end of summer.
Okay.
I think he said in August maybe. So
Cool.
we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, we got 4 minutes before we get booted off because
How long was this?
it's been like 36 minutes so far.
This is usually how long your podcasts are?
Well, I can't afford Zoom Pro, so I'm just
Oh, God.
we got the Christmas present budget production right here.
Oh,
Everything you see has been a Christmas or birthday present. And a
I friggin' mic.
what?
'Cause I have a microphone as well, like that. But I used to think I was making beats in college. I would have the ball players. Everyone would be trying to create their own freestyle, their own song.
Oh my goodness, that sounds horrible.
Oh yeah, but no, that's pretty much it. I
Okay.
think if the NFL doesn't call, you'll see me in August, freaking Bellator.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. There you go, Josh.
Oh no! Don't do that.
You
Don't
always
do
say
that.
that to me because I make
I'm
YouTube
not,
videos.
I'm not like you. You're kind of I got a foot and a half into podcast and half a foot
Oh
in.
my gosh. Oh my goodness.
We'll
All right,
talk-
brother.
yeah,
Well,
but
let's meet up at 2:45. That sound good? Do pads for like 30 minutes, have a 15-minute break.
do pads for how long?
I said 2:35. You want to just show up at 2:30?
2:30. That's what I was thinking. 2:30.
All right. Did you do an ice bath today?
No,
You
I'm
got to
not
do your ice
soft.
baths, bro.
I'm not. Did you do ice bath?
Yeah, sub 40. 5 minutes.
I need to get one for my apartment, but until they got one over at the facility, do they not? Or
I just go to they do. It's really hard to get it cold because you got to put so much ice in there. But
oh, you
my uncle has a pool and it gets sub 40 in the winter, so I just go in there in the winter.
yeah. I mean, it seems like it's heating up outside, so yeah, take advantage
Well,
of that one.
Yeah, it only lasts up until March because he ends up heating it at a certain point, but it'll stay cold all year round. It just will get up in the 50s.
I need to check out my pool right here then.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, hey, I'm gonna
But
get off here. I'll see you in an hour. All right.
okay, sounds good.
See you, bro. Thanks for doing this, man.
Yep, I got you. You have a good one.
You too.